You're what?
47.
7? Right. So which means he no longer
47
a
in
unk. Which
shape.
means you no longer a unk, you a
47
papa.
in shape.
That means you a cooked papa.
Nothing but the blood. Nothing but the blood. Jesus. Nothing but.
You are no longer a unk. And young men are willing to wine and dine and prepare
They are.
the table for the cooked meat.
They do.
Trust me. The older men sitting back with papa stands like you with their glass in their hand saying, when you gonna serve daddy?
Paulpierce is cooked papa, according to overcooked fake Doc B, who sat across from him with all the confidence of a spiritual guru / booty call commander and declared he's 47, sitting around waiting to be served. Meanwhile, she bragging that young simps are out here serving her like she's 25, when she's just a few years shy of AARP mailers herself. Let's get this straight. She's calling him cooked while she out here with a full rotation of short-term manservants, a dude she's been spinning the block with for half a decade, and no ring, no baby, and no sense of consistency. Sis ain't just spinning the block. She out here driving circles in a clown car with a gospel bumper sticker. And Paul, he said nothing. She stripped him of unk status like she was repossessing a family nickname and crowned him cooked papa. And he just sat there like a freshly microwaved plate at a family reunion nobody touched. Now let's be honest, if them young dudes she brags about can't be bossed around, they won't last. And clearly they don't, since Mr. Spin the Block been on year 5 of I can't deal with her too long tour. That ain't rotation. That's retreat and return. Paul should have at least said, if I'm cooked, you're reheated. But nope. She called him outdated, passive, and slow-moving, and he just smiled like he was at story time. Moe Bucks would have said, Paul, she called you cooked papa while she out here boiling water with expired seasoning. Ain't no way you let that slide on your own show. Sunlight would have leaned in.
She ain't looking for love. She looking for followers. And apparently simps come cheaper by the dozen. The real truth, she ain't serving healing. She's serving contradiction. And Paulpierce just got sautéed in the pan she's been cooking, minute since the day she trademarked Jesus girl with a rotation.
When you gonna serve me?
Make daddy a sandwich.
Make daddy a sandwich.
You pregnant?
Paul's like, did we get an exclusive?
Said.
No, I took my IUD out about a month ago so that I can be ready to do it.
Congrats.
I'm
I
very
What is
love
that, the eggs?
The IUD is like,
You took the eggs out?
no.
And freeze them?
I have one guy that I have
Yeah,
dated
she's
off and
stuttering
on
now. We
for
got
5
her.
years.
We got her.
We dated for
Yeah.
5 years off and
So
on.
you was his work for 5 years? You been his work? You still his work? Or he your work?
We working together.
So the D is good.
Oh,
Let's keep it. I mean, that's what it's like, dude. Let's
he
let's
put
keep it
on
100.
his red pajamas and feel like he's supposed to get spicy
This is
tonight.
Now, Jesus girl done jumped all the way off the Sermon Mount and into the spin cycle. She took her IUD, or as she called it, EID, IED, or whatever, like it's a holiday or a military device, out, because she's getting ready to get pregnant before marriage. Hold up. The same Jesus girl who talks about accountability, divine alignment, and spiritual unions, now saying she's prepping for creation without covenant? What commandment is that? Thou shalt not get married before creation of life? Thou shalt have a baby by whoever's available on the roster? And on the 8th day, God said, go ahead, girl, bust them guts and skip the vows? This ain't the book of Genesis. This is the book of genitals. Jesus girl over here mixing Old Testament theology with New Age hookup culture. She trying to skip straight to, and God said, be fruitful, without that whole bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, let no man put asunder part. What Bible is she reading from? The New Ratchet version? She says she removed her divine defense system so she can receive the blessings of life from whichever gut buster wins the spin the block lottery. Meanwhile, she's still preaching celibacy to the followers, talking about boundaries, emotional clarity, and knowing your worth. But behind the scenes, she got Plan B on standby, and Jesus onks would say, you can't rebuke the devil while booty calling his interns. And Sunlight, she'd be sitting back like,
Sis trying to have a baby like she buying a house. no husband bad credit, and praying for a low interest rate.
Let's keep it a buck. Jesus girl done slid so far off the scripture, she's gonna need MapQuest and the blood of the lamb to find her way back. She ain't talking holy. She talking hormone heavy, roster ready, non-covenant confusion. And we ain't judging the baby. But let's not pretend the blueprint is divine when the ink ain't even dry on the relationship. Jesus girl? More like judgment-free jamboree girl. Somewhere up in heaven, even Mary looking down like, girl, that ain't how immaculate conception works.
There's good men out there that women are not receptive to because their own barriers, issues, and traumas that y'all got to work through.
I don't know if she should be a therapist or a pimp.
Now she switched gears again, y'all. After preaching about gut-busting roster rotation and holy baby plans with no husband in sight, Dr. Fake Buck is now dropping therapeutic gems like she got her PhD in emotional acrobatics. She said, and I quote, "There are good men out there. Women just ain't receptive to them because of the man's own barriers, issues, and traumas. That's something y'all gotta work through." Oh, really? So let me get this straight. It's the man's trauma that's blocking the woman from recognizing his goodness. But also, the woman is the victim of being too healed to receive him. And the man gotta fix it for her to be open to him? Whoa! Jesus girl just built an emotional obstacle course in stilettos. Let's translate. There are good men, but until y'all stop being broken, scared, and confused, we're just gonna keep dating Pookie, Ray Ray, and side dude number 3. And then, in the most honest moment of the night, Paulpierce leaned in, squinted like he was trying to read through all the glitter and contradictions, and said, "I don't know if you a therapist or pimpala." And that, folks, was the moment Truth After Dark became satire before sunrise. Because with all this rotation talk, emotional manipulation wrapped in healing lingo, late 40s womb planning, and Jesus girl branding, let's be honest, the street's been whispering and Moe Bucks just confirmed it. She ain't no therapist. She Pimpala the roster whisperer. She out here coaching women on how to blame men for their own unavailability while keeping a personal lineup of emotionally unavailable men she don't even want long term. It's like a TED Talk sponsored by confusion. Sunlight would say.
She out here talking like Ayanna Van Zant with a cash app for casuals.
Moe Bucks would say, that ain't therapy. That's spiritual Uber. She just picking up who's available and dropping them off when her inner peace needs gas. So is she a therapist or pimpala? Let's call it what it is. Dr. Fake B, PhD in manipulative healing and roster development. She ain't fixing hearts. She leasing souls. No credit check, month to month.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of The Truth After Dark with Azar Faraday and Paul. And today, it is only right that we have this special guest on, a leading voice in mental health, best-selling author, coach, and producer behind MTV's Teen Mom Family Reunion. She's known for helping people feel, deal, and heal through her raw transformative approach and her book, Mental Detox. Please welcome Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Ooh, how about that introduction?
Who,
Welcome.
by the way, is not vitamin D deficient.
Oh,
Okay.
I can tell.
Thank you.
I can tell the way you
because
talk.
she's sharp.
You can tell by the
I can
right?
tell by the glow. I can
And
tell by the
boots.
glow.
And the boots.
Oh yeah, you probably gonna get some vitamin D tonight.
You know what I mean? I got it before here. That's why I'm
Oh,
here. Good, ready to go.
okay,
Yeah,
hold on.
anyways, yeah.
I love that. So we're so excited to have you. Like, we had to have you. You always spit that real shit, and I love it. So I'm gonna start it right off the bat because I have to get your opinion on something. Okay. So Paul just told me that I was cooked, and he said that all women after 30 are cooked, period. What are your thoughts on that?
I think I've seen that.
You
clip.
see that? Because it's
I've
going
seen that
viral, and
clip.
everyone now is in my DMs telling me I'm cooked. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm 34. I get it. I might be a little cooked, but what do you feel about that?
And Paul, you're what? 47?
7.
Right. So which means he no longer a
47
unk.
in
Which
shape.
means you no longer a unk, you a
47
papa.
in shape.
That means you a cooked papa.
still-
You are no longer a unk.
Can still dunk.
So what he's doing from a
still
psychological
run a 40
perspective, is he's self-projecting his papa cooked self on you. Because honey, you're not cooked. But the papas are.
Hello.
They are.
Come through.
You are no longer Unc baby. You are a papa status.
All right.
You know what papas do, right? They
What do
watch
they do?
grandkids and cook. You cooked. That's all you do.
No, I don't
Yeah.
watch. I don't have no grandkids, so
Her, on the other hand, she still rare marinated meat. That's what that is.
Hello, rare marination.
She ain't even got to cooking yet. She not even nowhere near the grill yet.
Hello. That's why we was matching.
So for now on, for the entirety of this episode, I'm gonna call you Papa Pierce.
I'll take that.
That's what we gonna get, Papa Pierce.
Papa Pierce is comedy.
That's all
I
you
love
get.
that down.
He don't like it. He looking at you like.
Paul Pierce is Cooked Papa, according to Overcooked Fake Dr. B, who sat across from him on Truth After Dark, talking reckless like she baptized in contradictions and delivered by delusion. First, she says she's not vitamin D deficient because she skeet before she got to the show. Did she wash? She don't say. She was in a rush. Ain't no confirmation. So now we sitting in spiritual therapy funk while she brags about pre-show activities like it's a flex. Then she flips it, looks Paul dead in his legendary face, and says he's not even unstatus no more. He's marinated meat. Says she ain't even started cooking yet. Ain't nowhere near the grill. But let's be real, sis almost 50. How long she plan on marinating? Eternity? At this point, she not seasoning, she dry aging, talking like she got centuries left to simmer. If she wait any longer, she gonna be serving spiritual beef jerky. Paul just sitting there, no words, no heat, no clapback, just letting her call him Cooked Papa, like she the head chef and he the dish of the day. Then she takes it a step further, hijacks the whole podcast, and says, for the rest of this podcast, I'm going to call you Papa Pierce. That ain't a nickname. That's a branding violation. She plays therapist when it's time to sound deep, then flips to roster runner when the convo gets real. She's talking about young dudes serving her, while she's out here juggling spin-the-block partners and gut-busting buddies like it's a rotating healing ceremony. She says she's not near the grill, but the whole kitchen smell like confusion and reheated contradictions. And the irony? You got two fine 40-plus women, her and Azar Faride, sitting on this podcast looking polished but emotionally swirling like tornadoes with fresh lipstick. Azar out here nodding like a backup singer, while Dr. Fake B sermonizes, flips scripture, and turns Jesus into a cover story for spiritual promiscuity. Paul should have said something. Anything, but nah, he just took it. From NBA champion to marinated metaphor in 45 minutes or less. Moe Bucks got one thing to say. You don't get to be the Jesus girl, the therapist, the rotation manager, and the victim all in the same episode. You either healing or hustling. And right now, you out here spiritually, shoplifting grace while handing out advice you don't even follow. Ain't no grill coming. Ain't no cooking left. You been done. Just don't drag Papa Pierce into your potluck of delusion. He cooked? Nah. You just mad he ain't seasoning you.
All right, let's start. Let me say something.
Go ahead.
Let me say something. So I'm a chef too, right? So, I prep, like the night before, like right now I'm marinating some steaks and some ribs, whatever. So when you marinating something, what that mean? It's not ready, right? It's not ready. It's in the refrigerator, right?
It's called preparation.
Okay, I don't want that.
It's called
Something-
preparation.
all right, so I don't want something that's not ready. Okay, now, once you do the marinating, you do the time, you throw it in the oven. Now it's in the oven, right? It's in the oven, it's cooking. I don't want nobody that's cooking. Like, it ain't ready. It's not ready. It's in the oven, right? So now the time go by and years or whatever. Pull it out the oven. It's done. It's cooked, right?
He even storytell like a papa. Keep
No,
going.
listen.
going.
I like cooked food.
Okay.
So,
So
me
she's cooked. You like her?
No.
we good.
What I'm saying is, people looked at this as me dissing women.
Right.
No, it's not a diss toward
I got
women.
you.
I like cooked
You're
food.
saying you like a woman who's cooked,
Who's ready, who's seasoned,
who's experienced,
experience,
who has wisdom.
See, so y'all
Yes,
took it out
who
of
has
context.
wisdom.
But that's
Gotcha.
not what he was
I
saying.
Yes,
the
that's
first
exactly
time.
what. Don't
I
tell me
got
what
you.
I'm saying.
What he's saying is that the meat that's marinated is still marinating and it's
Exactly.
preparing for the opportunity. He's saying a woman who is cooked, been there, done that,
Yeah.
has the wisdom, she has the
Boom.
experience, and so he don't have to teach her to marinate. He don't have to put her in the freezer. He ain't got to wait for her ass to come out. He ain't got to put her on
So-
the oven and wait for the oven to go. She's ready. She comes already seasoned, ready, and fresh.
But
So
he's
ladies,
cleaning
no,
it
no,
up
let me- no,
because
no,
last
let me-
time
let
I
me
said
talk,
that.
let me talk.
Go ahead.
No, listen.
Go
though.
ahead.
And so I'm cleaning it up.
Clean it
So
up.
I'm like,
Clean it up.
listen, it wasn't a knock.
Okay.
It was a tee up.
Exactly.
Come
Now, and
on.
I was waiting for this episode to
Yeah.
like explain it. To like, dog, this ain't no knock on you being cooked. I like cooked food.
Well, so, baby girl,
Like-
he said you cook. That means you seasoned, you ready, you
I
experienced,
mean,
and you
she
wise.
cooked, you cooked. We like cooked food.
Paul looking either confused or a little tipsy on his own show, like he forgot if this was Truth After Dark or Ambush After Midnight. He trying to speak and gets cut off with a quickness. He says, "Don't tell me what I'm saying." And then here come Dr. Fake B, unbothered, narrating his thoughts for him like she's his spiritual interpreter. Then when she finishes explaining what he meant, Paul just gives up and says, "Exactly." Exactly? My guy, you just got ventriloquized on your own couch. Every time he opened his mouth, it's like they swat his words mid-air and take over the sentence. He's sitting there like a special guest on a show with his name on it. Dr. Fake B now trying to act like she on Paul's side, saying, "We cooked together," like that's some kind of romantic enlightenment. Nah, you don't throw the man in the crock pot for 40 minutes, flip him twice, and then act like y'all in a recipe together. She only sided with Paul to make herself look good. She thinks by calling herself seasoned, it makes her mature, not marinated and delusional. But let's tell the truth Moe Bucks style. This ain't enlightenment. This is entanglement theater with extra glitter and no accountability. Dr. B talking about the men she dates being toxic, but if the law of attraction is real, and it is, them toxic men are just reflections of her own inner world. She don't need another roster. She need a reboot. And all that judgment she's throwing out? That's her own mirror trying to teach her to sit down, breathe, and stop playing therapist with a patient heart. She judges men like she's anointed with divine clarity. But the only thing clear is that she can't stop attracting the chaos she claims she's healed from. When your inner is full of noise, don't blame the echo, blame the room. And as for me, I can't take no more. My soul and oversoul done had enough. I'm getting the buck out of here. Y'all can keep watching this spiritual sitcom turned side-eye session. I'm going to drop the link to the full video in the description if you want to see the emotional saute happen in real time. Like and subscribe. Remember, the inner creates the outer. If you keep seeing confusion, maybe it's time to look inside. Stay grounded. Stay wise. Moe Bucks. Love y'all.
Y'all ready to go?
And now Papa is cooking. Now you're cooking, baby.
Right.